Next, we're going to bring up the great mayor of the city of Lawrence. As the Mayor Manzi said yesterday, he was the second worst mayor in Massachusetts. And the reason why he was the second, we all stuck with the first. But let me bring up a great mayor of the city of Lawrence, good friend of all of ours, Michael Sullivan.
Beautiful city of Methuen, and actually welcome to the beautiful city of Lawrence. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending all your money in Lawrence, Massachusetts today, ladies and gentlemen. And if you look a little bit out to the right, you'll see the great Lawrence City Hall. You'll see the window where the bullet came through.
Mayor, before you go any further, I just want to make sure no one gets insulted. I'm actually leaving the stage because there's a window behind me, and I'm afraid that something might come through.
The way this is going, you can count on two things. That this is my last St. Patty's Day lunch, and it's probably Manzi's too. Listen, Linda, that was great. And Barbara, this is too much. I put together something simple. I was down at the Loop the other day looking for the joke book on the city of Methuen, and I actually found it in the Lawrence Eagle Tribune. I actually, believe it or not, was trying to put together some jokes, and I got a little stuck last night, and I actually went online and pulled out like 5 of the last Tribune articles. And I want to just kind of read them a little bit and then ask you guys, like, what the heck are you doing in Methuen? These are real. J.J. Huggins. Is Jay here? Where's J.J.? These are all your articles, man. I'm going to give you the headline, and you guys are all part of this. This was dated March 13th. The headline said, Rep. Barbara Italian embroiled in controversy over her wonderful voice. That was the headline. And you might think these are a joke, but I'm going to actually just read the article. These are her quotes from last year, and she was singing, "She left me a police unit filled with dissent, and a chief who couldn't say how the money was spent." She sang, referring to allegations that police could not account for federal grant money and overtime. And then there was another verse that says, "I'm trying to fire a chief who won't go." L'Italian sang. Now here's the difference between Methuen and Lawrence. When the mayor is trying to fire an employee, it leads to a charming state rep getting up singing a charming song. When I try to fire somebody in Lawrence, I get 9 bullets shot through my window. So that's a little bit of a difference between what's going on in the cities. So keep doing what you're doing, Mr. Mayor. I love this one, JJ. I don't know where you picked this one out, but the headline is 4-day work week for City Hall employees explored. You guys looking to add a day? What have we been doing to a 4-day work week? You think this is a joke? It says by J.J. Huggins, City Hall officials are exploring the idea of opening the building on Thursdays and going to a 4-day work week. City Councilor Steve Zani said such a move could lead to layoffs next fiscal year. Anything that could potentially lose money is worth looking at, Manzi said of Zani's idea. But this is, JJ, you know this is right. He looked at the Utah model and said that this comment is what sold him on the idea of opening up 4 days. Somebody said, I don't have kids, so it doesn't complicate my personal life. It actually frees me up on weekends, and I like that more, said Danielle Downey, a compliance specialist for the state's insect control program. This way I've got the extra day to do things at home, and then I have 2 recreation days. Great, that was, I think, when he was the council president last year. That was good stuff. So that was an actual article. How about this one? You talk about control, power, some words that have been swirling around the Manzi administration for the last 3 years. J.J. Huggins writes, Methuen Mayor Manzi wants more power over school contracts. You remember this one, Mr. Mayor? By J.J. Huggins. It says Superintendent Gene Whitten negotiates all school labor contracts, and the school committee, of which Manzi is the chair, votes on whether to approve them. Now the mayor negotiates contracts with municipal employees, and school salary increases, he says, accounts, and some of these agreements for some new hires added to reduce class sizes, says Superintendent Whitten. Whitten says that the state requires school professional staff to be highly qualified, which means they have to attain a master's degree. That automatically bumps up their salary, she says. Then she goes on and says, Whitten said those who are closest to her clients should do the negotiating, not the mayor. And then she has a big bold comment that says, when will this mayor realize that he needs to keep his nose out of my business, said Whitten. Now, I'm not trying to cause a wedge between you and your superintendent, Mr. Mayor, but you should keep your nose out of her business. She's doing a great job. Next article, believe it or not, came a week later by J.J. Huggins, and the headline is, Methuen Mayor wants more power over police chiefs' contracts. And this one says, the City Council approved a 3-year, $385,000 contract for Police Levine's base salary. I'm sorry, Kathy, it's not really that much money, but it's a lot. Base salary will be twice that of the highest paid patrol officer in accordance with state law. That officer earns $51,000 Levine already receives, and she will continue to receive extra money for longevity, holidays, benefits, etc. Levine said those who are closest to their clients should do the negotiating, not this mayor. And then they write in bold, when will this mayor realize that he needs to keep his nose out of my business, said Chief Levine. Where is the chief, by the way? Where's the chief? So, Billy, listen to your chief and your superintendent. Keep your nose out of their business. Next article that's written by J.J. Huggins. This you can't even make up. Mayor says he was going, cop. Mayor said he was going to get me between the eyes. Cop claims Manzi threatens him. The former head of the Methuen Police Union testified yesterday that Mayor William Manzi physically threatened him during a conversation recorded by the FBI as part of an alleged corruption probe. Mayor said he was going to get me between the eyes, said the officer, testified at a hearing yesterday. He also said that he wanted to meet me behind the Searles building. But this is the great, and to your in-laws, and Beth, I'm so sorry to have to read this to you again. Then it says, Manzi denied threatening the officer. He says, I'm 53 years old, I can hardly lift the basketball. JJ, does he actually say this to you? Or do you just like this stuff? Well, you got the senior editor over there. Can't you help this guy? These are all within the last 2 months, but J.J. Huggins once again. Methuen Council increases pot smoking fine by $100. The City Council last night approved the bylaw proposed by Mayor William Manzi and Council President Debbie Quinn to issue a $100 fine to anyone smoking marijuana in a city park playground, on school property, or at Forest Lake. Now, what is going on at Forest Lake? What was that all about, Council President Quinn? If a police officer or Council President Debbie Quinn catches somebody smoking pot in one of the areas where the fine is increased, they will have a discretion about whether to levy the additional fine. The fines are not likely to generate much revenue for the city, but they serve as a deterrent, Manzi said. Now, here was the other headline that says, Council President Debbie Quinn and Mayor Manzi remain mellow.